We survived another day of trying to tame these wild bears, and I still have my funded TRADEIFY accounts. Let's go. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It is Friday, April the 4th, and it's been a wild ride. But hey, we had a green day. I wasn't sure this morning if I was going to be trading my funded accounts at all with this massive sell-off that we once again had in the early morning hours today. But I did enter some trades today with my funded accounts and literally was only trading with one micro and really had kind of a scalp mentality. I really was not looking for any, any major big moves. But anyway, I was just focused on trying to get some green. But take a look at this market from Wednesday when this sell-off began, this tariff news came out. We were at the 20,047s. And when we closed today, we closed somewhere here around the, right around the 525s. That is over 2,500 points in about 2.5 days. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And then with China hitting back on Trump's tariffs with an increase of tariffs on their side as we're starting to play this tariff war. You know, early in this morning, this market sold off another 1,000 points early this morning in very, very rapid succession. So what a move, just crazy. And the levels that we're looking at now, I mean, we're looking at levels, these green bands that I've got marked out here are like, this is the 2023 highs from the summer, July of 23. We fell through the 2021 highs. December of 2021, we had these highs. That seems like a long time ago. I mean, that's been 1,000 points ago. Actually, more than that. That's like the 18,700s, and we're down at the 17,400s. So that's like 1,300 points ago. So anyway, it's kind of crazy. We'll see where this thing goes. I figured, you know, like I said a couple days ago, you know, we've thought for a while that we've seen the bottom, but we just keep falling. We keep falling. And as this market's closing today, it closed and it's just continued to fall here towards the 5 o'clock hour. So we shall see. I think this is very much an eyes wide open type of market. We have to look at this thing Sunday night, Monday morning, and see where it's at, and then make decisions from there. If this continues to fall, we'll have to just define some more levels as we see major highs and lows from previously, because we're kind of in uncharted territory here. In a sense, it's almost like trading market highs, because it's been so long since we've been at these areas that it kind of becomes kind of an intraday. You know, seeing if things develop intraday and then making adjustments accordingly. So interestingly today, the overnight low, this was the overnight low, this blue line really seemed to be in play. I mean, we did kind of had a little blip through it here in the afternoon session, but that really seemed like it was in play on the NASDAQ. It also was in play on ES right here. We had a very clear, that was one of my best trades. It was actually probably the best trade I took today, was this break and retest. Market broke, we retested this 5,200 level and the overnight lows, and we took that short. I exited way too early. Matter of fact, let's just look at that trade right now. I think it was on these accounts. Yep. I traded these in groups of two, and these last two that I traded, 69 and 70. At one point, I had them down $100, $110, and got them back to green. So on this move, basically, I took a loss here. This was just a stupid setup, a stupid trade. I kind of identified this little level here. It wasn't a marked level that I had marked this morning, but I kind of saw this thing developing, and that lined up very much with the NQ right here on this pre-market low right in here. And that's when this started rejecting. That's when I decided to take this short on ES, and that was a fail. And then when we actually rejected, you know, the ES pre-market lows and this 5,200 level, pretty clear, that's when I took this short and ended up with a really nice trade there, out with a $100 trade on one micro. And the bad thing is I was red, and so I was trying to get the account green, and we kind of stuttered. We were kind of right in these lows, and I just cut it. I couldn't hang on to it, just cut it. And then after I'd cut it, I was down like a couple dollars. So I couldn't stand seeing this red on the chart. So I took some crazy trades here. I just jumped in and I thought I had closed this out. I guess I must have been like $11 short or something, because this trade closes at 10 and I was down $1.53. And then I took another little trade here, took a loss. I thought I had it. I was literally just entering and trying to find a couple dollars green here and then killing the trade, and I wasn't fast enough, and that ended up being like $1 loss. Then I re-shorted, I went long again right here, and that one ended up going against me, and then I jumped back in short. These arrows are kind of a little bit messed up because of how zoomed in I am, but anyway, went short here again, and got out with a $60 trade, and I was short by 93 cents. And then we finally caught it here on this last little move. So I took some extra trades that I typically would not have taken, but I was just literally trying to get the accounts to actually be green, showing green. So not that that was a big necessary thing, but we did get them back to green, and that was kind of some crazy trading there. But anyway, so that was the best setup on ES. I didn't take any trades at all on NQ on the funded accounts. I did trade some evals today. Not great. At one point today, I was up 2,300 with these 4 evals. So I think this one was at 52.5, and we gave back quite a bit. I gave back quite a bit right here in this little move. Just trading micros, but with the moves today, pretty crazy. So didn't take any trades on the funded accounts on NQ. Literally, it was just the moves were so big. I mean, there were so many 50, 60, 100-point candles throughout the day. I was not going to trade it. I had much more success trading ES. And I also took some trades on gold. I actually took quite a few trades on gold, and actually turned out quite well. Here I had a break and retest short of yesterday's lows. Beautiful little setup there. Caught a little $50 winner. Again, I could have held on to try to get a little bit more, but I didn't. This was on this account right here, and I traded that one with this one right here. So these two that are right in the $50 marker, that was those accounts. I think the other one might have been, yep, my TRADEIFY accounts. I took a nice little short here. This really just kind of shows the setups that I'm looking for. We break, retest. I can have a very low risk and a higher reward. Same thing here. I did keep my stop above this wick here, but took this short as we retested this low again and wrote it down for another $60-some trade there. So, and another little short down here at the bottom. But yeah, just that's really the setups that I'm looking for, and I was just careful with taking entries today. And honestly, I was not so worried about holding for bigger moves. I was really just trying to scalp, in a sense, my way through the day. So anyway, it turned out really good, and honestly, I might do more of it, because I was able to get some wins today, and just trading one micro, and whether I trade 1 or 2 micros or 3 or whatever, I think maybe to try to get out of some of the struggle that I've been on the last 10 days, maybe maybe focusing on that at times is just trying to get some small wins and just get some green on some trades. It worked out today quite well. I think I took one trade on the Dow, and it was a small, very small loser. I'm not even sure where it was, but anyway, it was like a $15-20 loss. Wasn't anything major. You guys notice I have traded oil, but I took oil completely off my charts. And the reason I just did it today, the reason I did that is I noticed the other day when I traded oil that my commissions weren't correct. And so I went in to try to set commissions, and with Apex, I can't, unless I just missed it, but I don't think they have a commission set for micro oil. I could trade oil as a mini, but I can't trade it as a micro. So I pretty much trade micros. I rarely trade minis, even with funded accounts. I mean, I have traded funded accounts, not funded evals. I have traded evals with minis, but for the most part, I honestly can pass them with just trading with micros. So But for that reason, I just decided to take it off. I'm not going to trade something that messes up with the commissions and the numbers. And I haven't ever traded oil that much anyway. So basically, I'm going to try to stick to ES and NQ, and then from time to time we'll take some gold setups if I like them, and then sometimes taking trades on the Dow as well. So, but we were talking earlier here about just the big move that we've had, even since Wednesday. We've had the 2,500 point drop, but it's pretty much across the board. And I think just this whole tariff thing has this entire market kind of shell shocked. The Dow is down significantly, and we're down here into lows from 20, highs from 23, highs from 22. This is definitely, and what's kind of interesting is how much gold has really kind of fallen off. I mean, you think when the markets like the Nasdaq and some of these markets are kind of falling, it seems like gold is doing better. But in the wake of this tariff news, gold has fallen quite a bit, which we were up here, in some very high areas, $3,200 for gold, and so it's down significantly from there, and that may create some other opportunities. I still think gold probably is, we're still bullish. We're in a bullish trend. We just had a pretty big pullback here over the last couple of days, but anyway, kind of interesting to see how the ball bounces, but I think I'll leave you with that. I am happy to be green on a Friday. Oh, I didn't even show you TradeZilla. Let's take, actually, there's a couple more things we have to talk about. Let's look at that real quick. So here's today, 377, 61% win rate. Again, I was not looking for anything big today, just looking for some green. And the last 3 days have kind of been about a wash. I mean, nearly been a wash. So we really have the big red day from Tuesday. And we're still red on the month, but it's early. And again, I want to focus on trying to get some consistent green, and then we'll try to scale our way back up and get into some bigger green days, hopefully. So the other thing I wanted to show you is kind of where this week, I know Monday was March, but we had a big loss on Monday and Tuesday. Those were the big losing days this week. Monday we had a big loss. Tuesday was even bigger. And then we've kind of bounced back and forth the last couple of days. Yesterday, the issue was my TRADEIFY accounts, major loss on those accounts yesterday. And so today, just trying to get some green, which we did. And we ended the week down on the Apex accounts. We're basically between about 300 and 500 per account is what we're down on the week. And the TRADEIFY accounts are down about $860 to $880. So we definitely dug ourselves a hole this week. I'm not happy about that, but it is what it is, and we got to work our way back out of it. The good news is this morning I had about $103 and $104 of drawdown on these two accounts, and now that we have another $75 in there, we're up to about 180. We'll have about 180 to play with starting next week. So I have a bit of a goal. I want to push these things back up. I mean, this account here was less than 700 away from payout, and no, less than 800 away from payout, and I almost blew it. So I really have kind of a vendetta. I want to get that back and get that account to pay out. So anyway, I guess I will leave you with that. Have a great weekend, my friends. Thank you, new subscribers. We've had just a consistent little trend of new subscribers over the last few days. Thank you very much. And also want to say thank you to those of you that use my code BCT with Apex, Take Profit Trader, and TradeZilla. So again, thank you for using my code, those of you that do. It supports the channel, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for it. But have a great weekend. Keep your head on straight, and let's start next week off with a bang and try to get some green on the charts next week. So take care, and until next time, so long.